Welcome to Orange County Power Players, where we spotlight the personal, professional, and financial success stories of OC's top leaders. Here's your host, Danny Flores.
Welcome back to OC Power Players, where I interview some of the most successful business owners in Orange County. Today's honored guest, I'm Danny Flores, your host, and today's honored guest is Asad Ali, zooming from Anaheim Hills. Asad is an accomplished business leader and senior expert in the SAP, BRIM, and XaaS with over 2 decades of experience dedicated to orchestrating successful SAP project implementations and leveraging technology to strengthen businesses. His expertise includes successfully delivering 3 full-cycle SAP BRIM implementations, spanning subscription order management, entitled management, convergent charges, convergent invoices, and finance and contract accounting. He has seamlessly integrated mediation tools like convergent mediation and potentially MuleSoft for seamless integration. Additionally, he possesses hands-on expertise in SAP S4 HANA. He brings meticulous expertise in configuring business partners, advanced credit management using FSCM, products, bundles, pricing and contracts, pricing innovation management, billable items management, consumption items management, billing and invoicing processes, billing plans, re-rating and reversals, partner settlements, master agreements, invoice level, intricate discounting, and FICA open items management. He has successfully orchestrated interfaces with non-SAP systems like Salesforce, OneSource, Stripe, and RevPro. Welcome, Asad.
Thank you. That's kind of a good intro, but it's very technical. So, give you my bio while I'm talking.
Yes, super technical, but tell us in simple terms what you do and how long you've been doing it and how you got into it.
Correct. So let me rewind first. Going back to the school, right? So I studied computer systems engineering from back home in Karachi, Pakistan. So once you are learning, and I think it is very important for the students in Orange County, in every place in United States, because whenever you start doing your studies and you make a computer science or computer systems as a major to start your building the career, you don't know from where to start. So same thing was happening with me. So we have a class of 70 students and we all study the computer system engineering. Some people, some of my friends, they study more on the networking. Some study on the hardware. Some goes to the software. So everyone choose a different path. So the way you define your path is the final year of your engineering. You choose a project. So you have a major project. You have a four friends who are together with you as a team, and you work for it. So what me and my friends we did, we chose a project for a computer information system. So we built a examination information system for our own university. So I studied from NED Engineering University. And we built a platform how to do the examination information system so that everyone who goes into exam and they can go through over there. Now started to making my career. Okay, so after studying the computer system engineering, I'm going to for the information systems and choosing the software as a major criteria. So I started my first job for Oracle. So I started doing the Oracle projects implementation. So at that time, we used to use the SQL as a programming language, and we did the programming there. Then from there, I transitioned to SAP. So SAP, what is SAP? So systems, application, and processing and data processing. So SAP is a German software which is designed for the ERP. What is ERP? It's enterprise resource planning. So when you're running a business and it's a large scale business, so you want to have everything in computer system, procure to pay, your order to cash, and your finance to revenue management. So all those
Mm-hmm.
things SAP provides best business practice for each different industry scale. So let's suppose if you're working for semiconductor and high tech industry, they have a solution
Mm-hmm.
for it. If you're working for a media, entertainment and media industry, SAP has a solution for it. So at that time, when I started on the SAP side, it was more on products, not on the services. Services, there was a very small section, but mostly product, how you can purchase a product and how you can do the manufacturing and then go for the entire end-to-end process. So I started with the programming, but then slowly, I realized how long I'm going to do the programming. So this is another question that the students normally ask when they move from computer systems into the future career.
Mm-hmm.
Where should I start and what should be my step? So so I studied the computer system engineering, come into the programming, learn the
Mm-hmm.
programming, did a long program. Of my program was during that time, it's like 400 pages, and we don't have it too much debugging tool at that time. It was like a dot matrix printer. You print out, you bring the
Oh.
entire the code, and you're looking, okay, where the error is and how I can resolve it. So then I realized,
Oh.
okay, so what would be the next from programming? So I can continue programming and become a very expert in programming, and I can go to the different path, which is going into the business analyst or functional analyst. So I
Mm-hmm.
chosen my path. So computer system engineering, then come to the programming, then go to the next, and that's become the functional analyst. So what I was doing then, I was working with business. It's like analysis of the business, what they do, what the system provide, then do a design fit and gap analysis and provide them the function how we can configure those business use cases into the SAP systems. So I've gone through with this one. So initially, when I started, SAP main core models were MM, which is called materials management, and which is sales
Mm-hmm.
and distribution, and then WH, which is warehouse management. So I did this for multiple clients. So I was working for. I started my career in US in KPMG consulting, and then I moved to the Arthur Anderson. Then there's another turn comes into your life that you got married. So I got married.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was doing the consulting, I was traveling a lot, and so I got arranged marriage. I go back home in my home city, Karachi, and meet with a girl, and then married, and I brought her here. Now she is coming from far from back home. She doesn't know driving. She is not very fluent in English. So I was traveling Monday to Friday. So she was home alone.
Mm-hmm.
And when she became pregnant, and I was going to expect my first baby, so she said, "I think maybe this is the time to change your career." So in life, there are life events will come, which will
Yeah.
start changing your life. So I
Right.
said, okay, so what should I do? So say let's find a client or a company and work for the company instead of working for consulting companies, because consulting companies are sending you to different projects
Mm-hmm.
and different clients. So I stayed in the Redondo Beach, and I joined DirecTV. And DirecTV, started as a principal analyst, then I got promoted to manager, then senior manager. So that brought me into the management area. And then I learned, how you can do the management. So slowly, I'm progressing on my career. Then after that, I moved to Hyundai Auto. So from entertainment and media industry, then I've come to the automotive industry, and
Mm-hmm.
I worked for about 5 years there. And slowly, my kids are start growing. So I got first kid, I got second, and then I got third one. Third was the right, and so kids growing. And then in the meantime, I say, you know what? There's another thing. So I do development. I know how to do testing, so why don't I start learning the project management? So I come into the project management field and I start
Mm-hmm.
learning the project management. There are different methodology, waterfall, and the agile methodology. So I learned those, and I started to using those things. So I joined. There is a company in LA. It's called 120 VC, which is more focused. Their niche is on the project management. So they have a PhD program, which is the project leadership program. So I joined that one, I certified that, and I started doing the project management. Now, when my kids start growing further, then I thought, okay, now it's time to come back to consulting because now
Mm-hmm.
my wife know how to drive. My kids, they have finished the high school, and so I start becoming into the consulting. Now, when I come back to consulting, SAP has changed, right? So SAP now has come into the more services area and the subscription. So as you know now that everyone has a subscription service. You have a Disney Plus, you have a Netflix, you have a Hulu.
Right.
So SAP also come into the subscription. So when we talk about SAP Brim, so
Yeah.
SAP Brim is actually take care of your entire subscription management. So you create a subscription order. So instead of a product sales order, now you're creating a subscription order for
Right.
1 year, and then every month you are paying for those subscription. So you have
Mm-hmm.
like a 1 year of a, for example, for 1 year of the subscription contract. And let's suppose after 7 months, if you want to cancel, you can cancel it. So there's a cancellation process. So so how the subscription order management flow? So first, you have a subscription order. The subscription order will comes from the SAP. We call like a SOM, which is
Mm-hmm.
subscription order management. Then it goes to the CC, which is the convergent charging. Convergent charging is the area where you do the rating. So you say which prices will apply, so depending on the which model you are. So let's suppose if your price is based on a tier. So let's suppose if you buy this product and services for this number of users, then your
Mm-hmm.
prices will be different. But if it is
Right.
like 1 to 100, it's different. But if you buy for 101 to 200, price will be different. So all those pricing and rating and formulas will be done into the convergent charging. Then it goes from here to the invoicing. So then you do a monthly billing process and you
Mm-hmm.
create the invoice. So when you're creating the invoice, you want to create one invoice, so which will have all those recurring. And let's suppose for a particular month. So for example, let's suppose if I have a direct TV, so I am paying subscription, but
Right.
guess what? Today there
Mm.
was a good match, right? And
Right.
it's a like a WWF wrestling game, and
Right.
it's a separate you have to pay. So I say, you
Right.
know what? I want to get this one today. So for this month, I will have my recurring charges. Then plus this pay per view will get
Mm-hmm.
added to there. So then you
Right.
got the invoice. So one invoice come to the customer, and then it goes to the FICA, which is finance and contract accounting. Now,
Mm-hmm.
how FICA are different than the general ledger accounting, right? So in normal finance, you have a accounts payable, you have receivable, and you have a general ledger, right?
Right.
Now, since there are thousands of transactions are happening as you're doing the usage of it in SAP Brim, so the general ledger cannot handle all these millions of transactions. So that's why the FICA, which is the finance and contract accounting, came into the picture. So it's
Mm.
considered as a sub ledger. So all
Okay.
those happening in the Brim level, and then once it's summarized, then we will send those transition to the general ledger. So this is a complete like a order to
Mm-hmm.
cash process at the
Right.
SAP Brim level. So SAP Brim, when we say, is actually more talking about the revenues. So once it go there, then you go to the revenue and see every company want to see that how much I actually make money when I'm
Right.
I'm doing any of my services providing there.
Mm.
I hope this will provide more layman terms to all the audience.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting how everything and how your whole career and life at the same time developed, right? Because you got
Correct.
out of college, then you get married, then you change a little bit to be accommodating. You have your kids are little, your kids grow up. Now you change
Yeah.
again back to consulting, and so you're
Correct.
you're, you're shifting. And that's
Yes.
something for all of us that happens, right?
Yes.
As our life progresses, our personal life progresses, our children, our family, and everything else, we shift along with it in our careers at the same time to be able to be accommodating.
Correct.
And then as you're talking about it, we're also seeing how technology is evolving, right? From
Yes.
product to service. I remember in the old days, kind of in the beginning days, where we used to have the servers all in the office. We had the file servers, the email
Yes.
servers, and we when we had the software that we used in business,
Correct.
we actually paid for a license for the
Yeah.
year, and I think they
Yeah.
would send us a disc or something like that. We'd load it
Correct.
on the servers, and that's what we would use for the year.
Yeah.
Maybe
Right.
maybe we had it's in between. Maybe we had an updated disc that got sent to us in 6 months, and we
Correct.
updated. And then
Yeah.
I remember the transition where it became a subscription service, and everything went
Yes.
to the cloud. And then all of a sudden,
Correct.
you don't have to replace these $10,000 servers anymore, and those start
There
disappearing,
you go. Yes.
right?
Yeah. In my lifetime, I saw like a big transition. I remember when I started, we used to have like a XT computer. You have a like a big monitor, the CRT screen. You have a floppy disk. You have 5.25 is to insert.
Yeah,
Then got to upgrade to like a 3.25, the smaller disk. Then it goes
yeah,
to the CD, then CD to DVD. And
yeah,
the time between the CD and DVD goes so fast that I still have a lot of blank CDs that I was thinking that I'm going to burn to do more music and all other my programs,
yeah.
but never get a time that it goes so fast.
We would buy the stacks, right? You buy the
Yeah,
stacks,
exactly.
and it's a whole bunch of them stacked in this little
Yes,
nice
yes.
round container. Yeah, I got
Yeah,
stuck with a bunch of those too that we never used. But I
never
remember
used.
when
Correct.
I was in college, I remember we started out with those 5-inch floppy disks that
Yes,
we
yes.
would download the
Correct.
spreadsheets on there and
Yes,
then bring it to a home computer. And then
yes,
that's when we
yes,
had those big monitors before the flat screen
yes.
ones.
Yeah,
And then they went to those, what was it, the 3-inch floppies, the more rigid
correct.
ones, the smaller
Yeah,
ones, and then the
yeah,
thumb drives. And it's
yeah,
very interesting how the whole thing has
yeah,
evolved over time.
yeah,
And I think these are things that everybody remembers, at
yeah.
least the older generation, right? Because the younger
Correct, correct.
generation, they've never seen any of that. For them, they're like, "What are you
Yes,
talking
yes,
about?"
correct. Similarly, if you look at phone, remember that you used to have a wired phone, right? And
Yeah,
then when you were driving the car, and then the car phone comes so happy. Oh, we can talk from the car also, right? And
right.
then all of a sudden, then the phone technology changed, and we start getting the cellular phone. So it's like a Nokia, BlackBerry, and all
Yeah,
those
yeah,
thing comes.
yeah.
And then all of a sudden, a smartphone, with the Steve Jobs bring the iPhone and
Right.
Android. Now I was remembering, I was talking to my daughter, and I say, when I was kid and I was in the school, I remember the phone number of my home phone number, my uncle's phone number, my grandparents' phone number. But now numbers are saved as a contact list in your smartphone, and you click on it, and then you get connected with it. So I asked my daughter, "Do you know my cell phone number?" She doesn't remember. She said, "No, it's all there. Why I have to remember?" I said, "Okay, what happened? You're in the middle of the road. Your cell phone battery died. Who you're going to call?"
No, not nobody.
Yeah,
Yeah, we used to have. I remember we would write all the phone numbers. I
yes,
had it on the paper and I stuck it in my
yes,
wallet. But because you dial them all the time, you had them all memorized. Yeah, all your friends' phone numbers are
correct.
memorized. Our parents, everybody. We have everybody, our sisters, brothers, everybody's phone number is
Yeah,
memorized. And
yes,
to mention, now if you ask me like phone numbers, I don't even know my children's phone numbers. I
yeah,
I
exactly.
just dial by name and it comes
Dial
out,
by name.
right?
Yeah.
Now,
So
but
life is keep changing. Yeah.
here's another funny thing too that I realized is that in the old days, do you remember the Thomas guides that we used to use
Oh
to find
yes, yes,
addresses, right?
yeah,
So you look at it and you look for your address and you memorize how to get there, and
yeah,
then you drive, right? And you
yeah,
remember how to get there. And now
yeah.
it's like so bad, or like you become lazier in a sense because now you use the phone and you can go to the same place 3 or 4 times and you still don't know how to get there because you don't have to think anymore.
Yeah, I have a funny story for that one. So I used to use the Thomas Guide for those maps, right? And so whenever I go out of town, I make sure that I have for that city the detailed maps, right?
Hmm.
So one time and this is the time when the GPS just newly started, right?
Hmm.
So I took my Thomas Guide with me. I went to the Boston, and so when I was taking the rental car, so rental car said, "Oh, do you want to get the GPS, which they call like a never lost?" right? So
Right.
it's $10 addition per day. And I say, you
Yeah.
know what? Okay, let me take it. So I took it and he explained me how does it work.
Yeah.
And so I used my Thomas guide on my passenger seat and I
Yeah.
start using it and I liking it. I said, oh, it's working good. Great.
Yeah.
So then what I did, then I pack it up and put into the trunk, my Thomas guide. And I
Yeah.
was driving and all of a sudden on the freeway that the cloud start coming and it start raining and the rental guy told me never lost and I lost because GPS lost the connection and I'm in the middle of the
Oh,
freeway. Visibility is like very rare that you can
yeah.
just see barely the second car in front of you.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
don't know in a strange area, in a new area, where
Yeah.
I'm going now. So then what I did and say, okay, you know what? Let's take a nearest exit and go back to the backup plan and then
Yeah.
take the Thomas guide back and then starting.
Right, right. Yeah. For I remember during that transition for the longest time, I always carried a Thomas guide in my trunk
Yeah,
because I wasn't sure if the
yeah,
GPS was reliable.
correct, correct.
And now all the cars have those. And
Yes,
so it kind of it helps you be more productive because
yeah,
of all the systems that we have on our back end, the CRMs, the calendar systems,
right,
on the smartphone, everything is there. The emails, you get the attachments, you don't have to wait in the mail. So it
correct.
helps you become super productive. But in some cases, coming from the old school, is the
Yes,
mind, sometimes you feel like it's not working
yes,
as it used to,
correct.
right?
Yes, yes, yeah,
So yeah, because if in some case, right, if we have a blackout, a cellular
yeah,
blackout or something like that, we
correct.
don't know anything. We can't
Yes,
contact anybody because nobody has ground lines anymore.
yes,
We're
yes,
stuck, right?
yes,
So that's super interesting, but it's also super neat to see how everything is evolving. And
yes,
and with that, what's in from your lens, what do you see and how you're implementing AI? Because that's here and it does amazing things in how you can create automations and everything else and
right,
how fast it progresses. What do you
yeah.
see it going and how do you implement it in your end?
Yeah, so what I observed, like, so whenever we implement a project, so after implementation of the project, then the next phase is start, which is called the production support, right? So
Hmm.
production support, then there is another software which most companies use is called the ServiceNow. So in ServiceNow, all those incident has recorded. So now what AI can do is actually since all the so let's suppose if a user raise an issue. So today I'm logging into the system and I'm having this problem and so what we can do, the automation in service now with using the AI agent, then it will goes into the database and see how many other users has the same issue and what is the solution has been provided. So instead of a human go and search one by one there, the AI agent can go and look all those in seconds and then provide the solution automatically if there was a existing incident happened with
Hmm.
one any of the user before or if it is not then it can provide recommendation what else you need to do but let's suppose if the problem is totally new then AI will not be able to do anything then it will goes to the customer service representative and then they will provide you the solution but what it will do the AI it will reduce a lot of calls and it calls in a way that within the one call you will get the solution the second is that it will minimize the customer service representative to pick up the call and provide the solution. So AI will provide a lot of automation and which will help the end users. Now, the another thing is that computer programming decoding, right? So what
Hmm.
is AI is doing? So let's suppose if I want to build a new code, a new program, I can use one of the AI tool, either ChatGPT or the Grok, and I can go and ask, okay, so I want to write this thing. So it will give you a sample program using the algorithm that it can do this one. Now you can review it and it will give you idea. Oh, okay. So maybe if I'm moving from one programming language to another programming language, I can use this algorithm and use onto my new programming language and create the program there. So it's going to help actually. So many people are thinking that they, with coming the AI, they may lose their job. Actually, it's going to enhance. It's like a tool. It's a tool you have to use as a tool, and you have to conquer through that tool. So it's going to help you to minimize the time and increase your knowledge.
So basically, as a developer, you want to embrace the technology, learn how to
Correct.
use it,
Correct.
because if you don't learn how to use it, then that might affect your
Yes.
job because
Correct. Correct.
you can't increase your productivity. I would imagine that's what the AI does,
Yes.
right?
Correct.
Makes you facilitate your
Yes.
production.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting in how that like, don't be afraid of the AI. Embrace it,
Yeah. Don't. Correct.
learn how to use it.
Yes.
Now, as we get ready to wrap up the interview, what exciting plans do you have for the next 6 to 12 months?
So So there are personal plan and there are professional plan. So in personal plan, which I already have started and probably will continue that, what I'm planning to do for all my three daughters, I'm taking into the trips. So I took a like a Europe tour and I took the trip to Hawaii. The reason I'm doing this with them is
Hmm.
what I'm observing this the new generation is more like a high tech. They just want to do everything on the computer. They don't talk much. They don't like do the way we used to do the things, right? So
Hmm.
I'm taking into the travel and I'm explaining them. Okay, so let's suppose if you miss a flight, what is the process you have to do? Okay, don't go to Google. Okay, let's talk to the flight attendant, and how you do it. So one lesson I teach them, that you have, when you will travel easy. So don't take big suitcases with you all the time, right? So what I try to teach my daughters, that when we are going to trip, you have one trolley bag, everything you can fit there, that's what you're going to take with you. Okay, so in this way, let's suppose if you go there and it happened, like we were taking the flight from Netherlands to Copenhagen, and then flight missed. There was like a 4 hours line, and we reached 2 hours before the airport, and we missed the flight. So I said, okay, so what we are going to do? My daughter, she said, I don't know what to do. And I said, okay, let's go. I talked to the customer representative of the airline.
Good.
So the airline lady asked the first question, do you have a baggage? And she said, no, I just have a 12 base. I said, okay, I will give you the next flight within the 2 hours. And I said, did you see that how you resolve the upcoming problem which may come to you to do
Hmm.
the light travel? And so I said, if you want like a t-shirts and tops, you have to don't put too much. Every place you go, there are new, you can throw it is, they are not that expensive, right? So just trying to teach my kids, how you can face the day-to-day world, right? And not just only
Yeah.
in US but around the world. So
Right.
I'm going to do more trip with them. In professional life, I'm going to use AI more in my day-to-day, and I'm actually using it. And so anything I want to do, actually, I first reach out to the chat GPT and see, what ChatGPT can provide. I say, okay, so there are different ways I can do it, the things which I was planning to do in one way. So I'm trying to embrace the technology and going further.
That's really good. I like that explanation. I like how you talked about dedicating the time to teach your daughters real world solutions, because that's what happens, right? Many
Correct.
parents maybe solve the issue for them or don't teach them how to problem solve, but life throws things at you when you
Yeah,
least
exactly.
expect it in many different contexts and
Yes,
areas, and you can't let your world shut down. You got to say, okay, wait a minute, let me
yes,
figure it out. And you got to
yes,
think. I like how you said no Google,
yeah,
because let's figure out old school when Google didn't
yes,
exist,
correct.
right? And let's be
Yeah,
resourceful that way.
Yes.
And that makes them super well-rounded and able to travel. And you told them to travel light, so they didn't have to worry
Yes.
about luggage being in the plane and have to
Correct.
get transferred or delivered or to
Yes.
a destination or anything like that.
Yes.
Right now, I don't have
Yeah.
any clothes. Like, okay,
Yes,
yes.
exactly.
So those are really cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And then I like how you mentioned professionally using ChatGPT and perhaps like you said, and I'm taking notes because I want to learn how to do that
Yeah.
too more. Is like, okay, I'm going to do this. This is the way I'm going to do it. But hey, ChatGPT, do you have a better way, or do you have
Yes.
tools that we can use to facilitate?
Correct.
Right? Because we
Yes.
don't know. It's hard, like it's
Yeah.
so hard to keep up with that.
Right.
So that's really good. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. No worries.
And also, Assad, if somebody's listening and they want to get a hold of you, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, they can reach out to me via email address. I have a Asad, which is my first name, ASAD dot, and then SAP, the software SAP, which I provide services at gmail.com.
Okay, very good. Well, Assad, thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your experience in your world, in your technological world.
Correct.
And anybody and to our audience, please go to ocpowerplayers.com and follow us on your favorite channel. Thank you so much, Assad.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Orange County Power Players. Want to share your success story? Apply to be a guest at ocpowerplayers.com/guest.